Thank you all for hanging in here. I guess I stand between us and cocktails, so I will be swift, and hopefully you'll learn a lot about Rosalind Lykan in the next 15 minutes. So earlier this year, we announced a transaction with GHO after recapitalizing Lykan, and at the same time, Rosalind CT was also owned by GHO. So we're running both businesses in parallel. I'm joined here with Peter Coleman, the CEO of Rosalind as well, and really want to walk you through kind of what we bring to the table as a transatlantic CMO. So the whole idea, concept behind the combination of the business is to really cater to both autologous and allogeneic cell therapies on both sides of the Atlantic Ocean. And so we have installed manufacturing capacity both in Scotland, Edinburgh, Scotland, as well as in Hopkinton, Massachusetts, right at the beginning of the marathon, for those of you that know. So 16 GMP processing suites, both locations can serve both US and Europe, and we're adding 6 additional right now in Hopkinton as well. And really what we're trying to present to the market is a team that is deeply experienced across a multitude of cell platforms, most of which we've learned a lot about today. And really focused on innovation. I think there's been a lot of discussion around the fact that manufacturing is a big challenge for this segment, for this particular modality. And we do believe at Lykan that we should play a role in looking for innovation to improve these processes, make them more accessible, reduce the cost. I mean, if you think about manufacturing a recombinant protein, I don't think the CMO is incented to increase titers because it will reduce their amount of batches per year. In cell therapy, I think all 3 stakeholders are totally motivated to reduce the cost of these therapies. We have higher throughput, the innovator has lower cost of goods, and the patient pays less that's treated. And so I think all 3 stakeholders are aligned to achieve that goal. And as I mentioned off the top, we're backed by GHO, global healthcare investor. A minority investor is Windrose Health Investors as well, so solely targeted at healthcare investments and well capitalized. So in terms of the combination, Rosalind Institute, most of you may or Rosalind CT came out of the Rosalind Institute, famous for cloning the first mammal, Dolly. And these folks have been at stem cell work for years and for quite a while working on embryonic stem cells, and then pivoted to iPSCs about 8 years ago. And so there's a lot of institutional knowledge that sits in Scotland around iPSCs, which makes it very attractive in terms of this combination. And so since 2014, they've been focused on this iPSC technology, and we intend to advance that, and I'll talk about that in a bit. On the Lykan side of the house, this company was founded by the original manufacturing team from Dendreon. And so they had tens of thousands of GMP batches of cell therapy. Think about doing that over a decade ago. It's difficult today. I can imagine what it was like over a decade ago. And so with that knowledge, they designed this facility as a purpose-built cell therapy facility. So everything in this building is brand new, built from the ground up to cater directly to cell therapies. It's not a repurposed recombinant facility or other type of facility. It's all brand new, focused on cell therapy. In terms of the background here, Lykan, once these gentlemen captured some funding from Windrose, we built the facility through COVID, or the initial phase of COVID, if you will, and brought it online in early 2021 and began GMP manufacturing in September of 21. So really a rapid construction and ramp up of the business. I joined the company in January of 2021, and really the focus was to build out the business. They ran the company somewhat as a project as they built this facility, and over the past 1.5 to 2 years, we've pivoted to building out the business and establishing a customer base and getting the operation ongoing. And so we're quite busy for sure. On the Rosalind side, again, goes way back in terms of embryonic stem cell research. Spun the business out of Rosalind Institute, started focusing on iPSCs, and one of their initial clients, they've developed the process, a CAR T process, de novo, and really that product is currently late stage, and Peter, my counterpart, is focused on hopefully getting that product launched next year. So next year, the Rosalind Lykan combination will be a commercial stage CDMO. In terms of the mission, and I mention this because we're of like mind, both companies. But again, I do think that we really think about delivering these therapies in a cost-effective way to basically provide accessibility. When I took this job, part of the why I was attracted to this job is the proximity to the patient of a cell therapy manufacturer. You don't get any closer than receiving someone's cells and then knowing it's being reinfused in the patient. So the excitement and working closely with patients in this business is really exciting. On the bottom, the vision, most highly regarded. In my previous company, we did product development, and I had a lot of conversations with CMOs, and the majority of those conversations were not typically pleasant. And so what we're trying to do is change the dynamic and make it more of a partnership than a vendor relationship, and becoming a lot closer to the customer. I think part of the challenges with cell therapy is the mere fact that every process is unique because every patient material is unique. And we need to be adaptable to that. But we also, during tech transfer, we need to absorb all of that institutional knowledge to understand the dynamic nature of the process. So instead of most CMOs saying, don't visit, we're good, we do the exact opposite. And we want the customer on site a lot during technology transfer and ongoing to make sure that we're delivering these products in an effective way. And then in terms of innovation, as I mentioned, we definitely have a focus on innovation. We are open for business for process solution innovators that are developing technologies, both manufacturing process and analytical technologies that we can put to work in our innovation lab, give them a test run, and then employ them in our customers' processes. We know that something has to change, and we're ready to hear from folks around innovation, and GHO is also motivated in that regard with regard to looking for technology we can fold into the business. In terms of the offering, it's pretty standard CMO offering, but I will say that I think part of the game here as a CMO is to gain as much institutional knowledge across as many cell platforms as possible so then we can be a better partner to our customers. And of those cell platforms there, I think most of them are represented in our facility today. So we're getting a broad range of experience from iPSCs to CAR-T and everything in between. And so there's a lot of knowledge being transferred to Lykan, and we're enabling these processes pretty aggressively. The facility is, as I mentioned, purpose-built. So this was built from the ground up as a cell therapy manufacturing facility. If you go into this facility, you'll know that it's a cell therapy manufacturing facility for a number of reasons. It's about 64,000 square feet. This used to be the site of Lonza and Cambrex in Hopkinton. And so we took one of the facilities, completely knocked it to the ground in terms of internally, and rebuilt it. Some of the things, the flows in the facility, segregated patient receiving and shipping locations, so we don't commingle our receiving with raw materials, et cetera. So it's dedicated to chain of identity, chain of custody, and focusing on moving patient material in and out of our facility. A large innovation lab we brought online earlier this year, so we've dedicated about a 1,700 square foot lab to look at innovative technologies and also perform process development on behalf of our clients. And in terms of the manufacturing suites, as I had mentioned, we currently have 8 ISO 7 suites with BSCs, but we're adding another 6 suites currently, so we'll have a total of 14 in Hopkinton. In terms of Roslyn, we've got several facilities. One of which is this facility here is the administrative offices for the headquarters. They also have the Scrim facility, which is for clinical manufacturing, and the BioCube facility, which is for commercial manufacturing, and that'll be the site where the product is launched next year. They've also got this training institute that's really intriguing in terms of bringing personnel into the company and fully training them on cell therapy manufacturing. One of the challenges we're having in the industry is getting enough people with institutional knowledge around cell therapy manufacturing and training them. And so that's a big focus at Lykan right now, as well as at Roslyn. They're about 200 plus, and we've just crossed the 100 employee line on the Lykan side. So in terms of iPSCs, and this is really exciting for me personally, I came from a platform technology company on the recombinant protein side, and when looking at what Roslyn's been doing around stem cells, particularly iPSCs, there's a lot of knowledge that's resident over in Edinburgh around iPSCs. And so today we can deliver GMP iPSC lines to clients. What the tomorrow goal is to have full differentiation protocols for a multitude of therapeutically relevant cell types, and that work is getting kicked off right now. So the goal is to deliver a fully capable iPSC platform where we can, even our autologous customers can have a path to an allogeneic solution through the iPSC platform. And so that work is getting underway, and we believe that's a big differentiator for Lykan. And it mentioned innovation, and I will say we take this quite seriously. We have a CTO that's strictly focused on innovation, facing externally, talking to process solution innovators and analytical innovators to see where we can get the best technology in the four walls at Lykan and Roslyn. Thrilled to have this SAB announced earlier last month. And it's not often that you can get Michael Chambers to sit on an SAB for a CMO, but he is, for those of you that know Michael Chambers, he's the founder of Aldevron, sold the company to Danaher not too long ago. But Michael is very focused on innovation in the cell and gene therapy space, deploying a lot of his own capital in the space, and is excited about working with the Lykan team around finding next generation technologies to transform cell therapy manufacturing. Michael Kalos was the head of immuno-oncology at Janssen. Again, he's going to help us think about products and how we can advance products. Heidi Hagen was at Dendreon. She's the CTO at Sonoma. She's really a manufacturing operations expert and technology expert in the space. And then finally, Margit Yeshka, who spent about 25 years at Novartis, last 10 of which she focused on cell therapy analytics. And so really having Margit guide our analytical strategy at Lykan. So really the two focuses really are on process innovation and analytical innovation, but also building out the iPSC platform as I previously described. In terms of project management, again, this is trying to move the needle on the partner relationship, is we really are trying to become a lot more focused on our partners and deliver, and be transparent, deliver these programs. We have a great leader of project management, Terry Perry's been in the business for about 30 years, and this is something that is near and dear to my heart, because I think that we understand most of the people on the Lykan leadership team have been on the innovator side. They've developed products themselves in small biotech companies, so they know the stress and strains of being on that side of the table. And so I think we're trying to identify with that and be transparent with our customers so they don't need to go back to board meetings and revise the plan. And so we are very focused on the project management part of the business. So in summary, Lykan, transatlantic CMO, GMP capacity on both sides of the ocean. The iPSC platform is going to be a big differentiator for us in the future. On the Roslyn side of the house, we'll be launching a cell therapy product on behalf of a partner next year. Lykan continues to advance our portfolio of customers and adding capacity pretty quickly. We'll tell you how busy we've been. And really, GHO as well as Windrose are very committed to this space in terms of investment in cell therapy. So I don't think that the Lykan transaction was the last GHO transaction in the cell therapy space. So you'll hopefully be seeing some more news flow in the future around building out this capability as a global CDMO. So with that, I'll wrap up, and thank you all for your time. Take care.